This question comes from Robert Michue, who asks, what if World War III starts? Now, that's a bold question, and exactly the kind we love here at Just Imagine X. It begins in Eastern Europe. In 2022, Russia invaded Ukraine. What began as a regional war quickly drew in the attention of the entire world. NATO countries poured weapons and aid into Ukraine. Sanctions hit Russia's economy. The conflict became a testing ground for modern warfare, drones, cyber attacks, and global propaganda campaigns. But in this alternate scenario, the war does not remain contained. In the spring of 2026, Russia launches a massive offensive, pushing deep into Ukraine. NATO responds by deploying troops, not just weapons. For the first time, Western and Russian soldiers clash directly. Within hours, the war in Ukraine has escalated into a war between Russia and NATO, and the stakes could not be higher. Because this isn't just a clash of tanks and soldiers, it's a confrontation between nuclear powers. Russia holds over 5,000 warheads. The United States has thousands more. Britain, France, and China are armed as well. India, Pakistan, North Korea, and Israel are watching closely, ready to protect their interests. The world has entered a conflict where every move carries the risk of nuclear escalation. As the war spreads, rhetoric grows sharper. In Moscow, Vladimir Putin delivers a chilling warning.
If Russia falls, the world will fall with us. We have a dead man's switch. Our enemies must remember, without Russia, there is no world.
His words echo across the globe, a reminder of the nuclear arsenal standing behind his armies. In Washington, Donald Trump, back in the spotlight, seizes the crisis to stoke fear and nationalism. At a rally, he declares, "America will not be pushed around. If we are attacked, the response will be like nothing the world has ever seen before." His words electrify supporters but unsettle allies, raising the stakes even higher. Across the Atlantic, European leaders like Emmanuel Macron and Olaf Scholz urge calm, calling for negotiations even as their militaries mobilize. In Beijing, Xi Jinping warns that Asia will not tolerate Western interference, while hinting that China's patience with Taiwan is at an end. The battles are fierce. Russian missiles strike NATO bases in Poland. American bombers target Russian supply lines in Belarus. Drones swarm over Kyiv, Warsaw, and even Berlin. The skies of Europe, silent since 1945, roar with warplanes once again. Civilians huddle in bunkers, sirens blaring, reliving nightmares they thought belonged only to history books. As Europe burns, other regions ignite. In the Middle East, Iran seizes the moment, declaring Western presence in the region intolerable. Militias strike U.S. bases. Israel retaliates with force. Oil tankers are sunk in the Strait of Hormuz, cutting off critical supplies. Global energy markets collapse, plunging economies into crisis. In Asia, China imposes a blockade on Taiwan. State media announces, the reunification of China is not negotiable. U.S. naval fleets surge into the Pacific, sparking clashes in the South China Sea. Japan and South Korea, within range of Chinese and North Korean missiles, mobilize at full speed. Australia and India, bound by new defense pacts, are drawn into the conflict as well. Meanwhile, cyber war rages in silence. Hackers shut down power grids across Europe. Banking systems freeze in America. In Africa and Latin America, riots erupt as imports vanish and governments lose control. Hunger spreads. Political unrest destabilizes regions that are far from the main battlefields, but still devastated by the war's ripple effects. Refugees flee Eastern Europe in the millions. Camps overflow in days. Disease spreads rapidly. Aid groups collapse under the scale of need. In Asia, entire coastal cities empty as blockades and bombardments make them unlivable. The largest refugee crisis in human history is unfolding before the world's eyes. And through it all, one threat hangs over every battlefield, every city, every government speech: nuclear weapons. Leaders hesitate, aware that one wrong move could end humanity. But as the conflict deepens, the possibility of a limited strike, perhaps a battlefield nuke in Ukraine or a warning blast in the Black Sea, becomes harder to ignore. The nuclear shadow grows darker with every passing day of the conflict. World leaders trade threats. Putin warns,
Push Russia to collapse, and the world will burn. Our retaliation will touch every capital. If we are forced to fight for survival, then survival will be denied to everyone.
NATO vows that any nuclear strike will be met with overwhelming force. Donald Trump declares, any attack on allies is an attack on us. We will retaliate swiftly and without mercy. Kim Jong-un promises to rain fire if North Korea is threatened. Each statement pushes humanity closer to catastrophe. Then, the line is crossed. A single tactical nuclear weapon is detonated on a battlefield in Ukraine. Tens of thousands die instantly. Fallout spreads. The world freezes in horror. For the first time since 1945, nuclear weapons have been used in war. NATO retaliates. Russia strikes back. Escalation becomes unstoppable. Cities like Warsaw, Berlin, and Moscow are hit. Fallout drifts across borders, poisoning air, water, and farmland. Millions perish in days. The United States and Russia unleash hundreds of warheads. China follows. India and Pakistan exchange strikes. Israel activates its arsenal. The nightmare has become reality. A full-scale nuclear exchange. The environmental cost is catastrophic. Firestorms blacken the skies. A nuclear winter sets in, collapsing agriculture. Famine spreads across every continent. Even nations spared from direct strikes face starvation and economic ruin. Civilization as we know it ends. Governments collapse. Borders vanish. Survivors focus only on food, water, and safety. Old powers are gone. New, fragile societies emerge, shaped by loss and memory. World War III would not just be another chapter in history. It would be the end of the modern world, forcing humanity to either adapt in the ashes or vanish entirely. And that's today's What If. A huge thanks to Robert Michue for the suggestion. This is your channel as much as it is ours. We take your wild questions, your strange ideas, and your bold scenarios, and we bring them to life. So if you've got an idea burning in your mind, drop it in the comments. You could be the next shout-out right here on Just Imagine X. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video, because sometimes the scariest part of history isn't what happened. It's what could happen next.